What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God King Jesus for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title in the screen, today I put together a very special build for y'all. And I personally am going to be calling this one the Wreck Warrior, also known as the 3-point floor spacing slasher. Now with this build, it's going to be coming out to the actual floor spacing slasher. It's going to be a point guard at the height of 6'3". But when it comes to this build, out of all NBA players, you know that one build is going to be reminding me of Derrick Rose. Now when it comes to today's attributes for this build, we'll get a 99 plus when it comes towards our driving dunk, 3-pointer, free throw, ball handle, speed with ball, and stamina. Now we're also going to get all of the elite contact dunks, all of the dribble animations with some extra layup styles. Now you're going to get a total of 41 badges on this build. This one is a literal walking bucket, a perfect main score for any team, especially in the rec. And this is a really well built build offensively, especially because this does not even have to be the main point guard for your team. Now defensively, I would recommend that a lot of high Q will be needed to get some steals, but this is one of my favorite smaller guard builds to bring to y'all this year. So before we get any further, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with the response. So to get started, we're going to go ahead and put this build under the shooting guard position. Getting into the height, let's go with 6'3". As for that weight, I'm going to put this down to 170. And then for our wingspan, go ahead and put this to 6'11". Now this is going to be perfect to move along with today's build, and we should be looking like this moving forward. So the first area that I am going to dive into is going to be our physicals. I'm going to put our speed all the way up to an 83. Moving into the acceleration, I like this best at an 87. As we get into that strength, I think this is going to be a huge necessity. Put this to a 48. Now getting into the vertical, let's go with an 86. And then as for that stamina, max this all the way out to 99. Now remember, you can buy boosts to wear gear which give you an additional boost, play well throughout each game, and also on top of that, activating the takeover or Mamba mentality badge will give you at least anywhere a plus 10 to 15 with everything taken into account. Now with that being said, with the plus 4 towards our physicals, we have that 99 stamina, 90 vertical, 52 strength, 91 acceleration with an 87 speed. Now this is one of my favorite things of this build because on the physicals, this is one of the strongest areas. Now let's go ahead and get started with the finishing. So once we get into that driving dunk, I'm going to max this all the way out to a 96. For that layup, let's go with an 80. And then moving into the close shot, I'm going to put this to a 55. Now these are what we're going to be looking like when it comes towards our badges. As you can see, we get Bronze Spot Finder, Gold Giant Slayer, Whistle, and then we also get Hall of Fame Pro Touch. Very essential for this build. Now once we get into the driving layup, we get a lot of other badges here. Hall of Fame Slithery, then you also do get Bunny, Pro Touch once again with Aerial Wizard, but then we get Spin Cycle and 2-Step, Gold Scooper, Float Game Silver Acrobat, and then moving into the driving dunk, Gold Posterizer, definitely my favorite badge. As you can see, we even get Precision Dunker. Now there's a lot of other badges being taken into account, but for this build, it's a monster inside any 5v5 setting and especially the rec. So from here, let's move down the line. Getting into the shooting, go ahead and put that mid-range shot up to a 72. As for when it comes towards our 3-pointer, I'm going to put this all the way up to an 86. And then as you can see, when it comes towards our free throw, I'm going to put this to a 90. Now this right here does give you that gold free points badge. Moving into the 3-pointer, you get Silver Agent 3, Blinders, Deadeye, also Green Machine, Guard Up, and Space Creator. Now moving into the little lower tier of the badges, you do get Open Looks, Gold Whistle once again with Corner Specialist, Comeback Kid, Claymore, Spot Finder, even Catch and Shoe with Bronze, Limitless Range. As for that mid-range shot, the main badge that I do want to focus on here is going to be Silver Midi Magician. Now you do get Space Creator, Guard Up, Green Machine, pretty much the whole works when it comes towards the shooting. Let me know your thoughts and opinions so far in this build. The next area that I'm diving into is going to be our playmaking. So for that pass accuracy, I'm going to put this to a 70. Moving into the ball handle, I like this best at a 92. And then for the speed with the ball, I'm going to put this to an 85. Now remember, you do have to take into account buying boost to wearing gear, playing well throughout each game, and activating your takeover. And a lot of these attributes do have the potential to get to that 99 range. So as when it comes towards our speed with the ball, we get gold blow by, hyperdrive, speed booster, and triple strike. Moving down the line with the ball handle, you also do get handles for days, unpluckable, ankle breaker, and also silver killer combos. Now for the pass accuracy, I did not want to make this as your main point guard. Reason being is because look how overpowered we are when it comes towards our offensive stats. But you will still be able to maintain diamond on bronze, special delivery, break starter, and relay passer. Now we're just about done here, but the most important part of this build has definitely got to be that defense. Depending on how you want to go about this is completely up to you. For my best interest, I'm going to go with a 60 when it comes towards our perimeter. Moving into the interior, just to be effective, let's go with a 40. Now as you can see, the one badge that we do get off ball pass on bronze. And as for this build, I really do believe that this is a huge wild card because of how overpowered we are offensively. Now you really can't get much more from it. You have everything when it comes towards our playmaking animations. Same thing can be said when it comes towards the shooting. You just about have a 90 plus 3-pointer. And then as for that finishing, add boost when you buy them. And this is already off rip going to be at 99. Now I know a lot of smaller guards are not going to be putting anything when it comes towards their interior defense and more importantly the strength. So this build on the interior is a huge mismatch, especially with this driving layup rating. Now I truly want to know your thoughts and opinions. Is there anything that you see that you would possibly do to change or make this build a little bit better? Now do take into account this is going to be the main score for any team. That is why I did go about the defensive settings the way that I did. Overall, I don't think anybody should be struggling, especially if you take into account certain lineups when it comes towards any game mode and setting. Now let's go ahead and move forward to make sure that we made this build correctly. So we should be able to get these 3 different comparisons. And as you can see, together we have created the 3-point floor spacing slasher, also known as the Rec Warrior, one of the best point guards / shooting guards that you can make this year. Now you can really change up the position to your own preference and liking. You may even get a different build name, but the main thing of this one is that I definitely wanted to maintain a highly overpowered and skilled build when it comes towards our offensive stats. Now I want to say thank every one of you for making it this far into the video. God bless you. More so than anything, all praise to be to our Lord King Jesus for another day and another opportunity. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Smash that like button. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family. And last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from. And I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.